Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads, and welcome to the Gold+Roundup.
Indeed, where we go through the free games that you get on PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold by Xbox. These games are free, but they may not be worth your time. However, some of them are. We don't want you to skip the good ones or to waste your time on the bad ones. So we'll go ahead and start with Nenji Senki Day X, which was on the PS4 and the Vita. You should not play this game. It's kind of in the vein of Ninja Gaiden, and I think that's what it's trying to do. But the animations, I think there are fewer than 10 animation sprite states for your guy. So it's really hard to tell what he's doing sometimes. You have a double jump, but because he just kind of floats, it looks like a Game Boy game, feels like a Kirby game, plays like Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
That is a really bad combo. The bosses are not particularly imaginative. It's really frustrating and not in a positive way. Those of you who played Ninja Gaiden remember when you got hit, you got knocked back into pits.
Yes.
That's really frustrating and annoying. I would dock that as a part of Ninja Gaiden 2.
Yeah.
But they decided to bring that in, and it's an ugly game. Do not recommend.
Bad idea. I would recommend Little Big Planet 3, though. I love this game. It may not be quite as good as the first one, but I think it's fun. It has just a great environment and happiness to it. The positivity of this just gets me excited every time. And the multiplayer, local multiplayer
is a lot of fun. I also really like you've always had a narrator in the Little Big Planet series. In Little Big Planet 3, they actually personify him. He's your little light bulb dude.
Yeah.
I like the little light bulb dude, and the fact that he's scared to go places with me makes it charming and endearing. My girls are playing it for the first time, so this is highly recommended, something that you can play either with or allow little kids to play on their own, because it's simple enough that they can understand it and fun enough that you will enjoy playing it with them.
Yes. A game that we would recommend, but not for kids, is Not a Hero.
Definitely not for kids.
Not a Hero is a great retro-style, kind of almost 8-bit, 16-bit game where you are playing... You're trying to get the bunny mayor reelected, and you're going to fight crime in the Trump-esque hard-on crime way of going in and just shooting them up.
Yep.
And it's bloody. It's fun. It's exciting, and I really liked it. It's a cool throwback, but it wasn't too difficult. It was difficult when you screw up. There are you can hide behind objects and everything. So there's a kind of cover aspect, like in a John Woo movie where you're jumping out and shooting and coming back.
Nice.
But doing that in an 8-bit level and being able to unlock, as you get more approval rating of the mayor, you get to play different characters. Nice. And I would recommend it. It's a lot of fun. Give it a try. See if you like it.
All right. Next up, we have Starwhal, which is available on the PS4, PS3. This is, I'll be honest, this is mostly a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
The single player is fun, but it's way more fun to have your little narwhal, and also the subtitle on this is Starwhal, just the tip, which we thought was pretty fun. I wouldn't really recommend playing it by yourself. It's more fun to play. It's more fun to play just the tip with friends.
It's always more fun to play just the tip with friends. One game that I would say is really fun to play by yourself, though, is Monkey Island 2.
Okay.
I mean, it's fun to play with friends as well, but Monkey Island has... this entire series has such a great story and great humor. I love the first one. The second one, I think, is even better in regards to kind of polishing out some of the way the mechanics work. This is another game that I would say use the Patrick method and when it comes to puzzles, because you will enjoy the story, you will enjoy this game a lot, but you will enjoy it more if you're not stuck and hitting a wall and being frustrated, because there's so much in this game to enjoy. You just need to go in there and push through it. It's just so fun.
As my single question on this game, how obtuse are the puzzles? Like, do you have to... Do the puzzles make sense, or is it just you just bump things together until you win?
Some of them make sense. I'd say most of them make sense. There's not as much make sense as King's Quest. You like
King's? Okay. All right.
And by that I mean the remake, the Sierra's remake of King's Quest that was the recent one, not the old school one. This is in between those. I'd say it's more on par with Full Throttle, where you can kind of put it together yourself. There is a little bit of trial and error where there is a lot of I can't do that, I can't use that here.
Yeah.
There is some of that, but it's not too bad. It's not as bad as the original King's Quest or Maniac Mansion.
All right.
But it's fun.
Going back to games that are more fun with friends, we're going to go to Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. How do you feel about this one?
I love this game. I wanted to play this game more multiplayer, but it was fun. You play, so you're in a spaceship that's kind of become separated from whatever. The storyline is not where it's at in this game, because it's the whole thing. Well, the most powerful thing in the universe is love, and anti-love is bleeding in, and you need to stop that. Which I'm like, oh, that's cool, because I'm a hippie, so I'm like that makes.
I'm pro-love.
I'm pro-love. So, but to control your spacecraft, you can either play 2-player or you can play with the CPU.
Mm-hmm.
And playing with the computer, you pick your I have a little dog that plays with me, and you send him to go do things for you.
Yeah.
So if you want the dog to worry about the shield, then you can put him over there to worry about the shield. I always had him control the weapons. And I would run around the spaceship,
handling
everything else. So imagine, think of it like Star Wars and going around the Millennium Falcon, where someone has to pilot and someone needs to go down there and shoot the guns.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the game works. And if no one's there to pilot, then you sit in one spot and you both get in guns and you shoot things. Someone has to propel the ship if you need to propel the ship. Someone needs to move the shield if you need to move the shield. But there's a cool puzzle aspect to that where you have to go through certain areas and you can't go through them without putting the shield the right area, because you're going to get bombarded. It's a lot of fun. I would encourage you to play this with some other people. It's not that in depth, and it's fun enough to play that casual and hardcore people will all get some enjoyment out of it. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have Anna Extended, which was on PS3. I hooked up the PS3 and played for you guys. This is a point-and-click adventure. I'll be honest, I played it with a walkthrough because I'm not great at these games, but I did want to review it for you guys. Mm-hmm. So my biggest qualm with it is that it lets you keep almost everything that you pick up.
Yeah.
And so your inventory gets really bloated and hard to manage, and sometimes they'll have you use something that you picked up in the first scene. So I feel like that if you're not using a walkthrough, then you would spend a lot of time putting the leaves with the other leaf. No. The oil with the knife. No. The lighter with the... Just use the lighter on everything. But the story is really fascinating. You wake up in a place that you've been having dreams about, and your protagonist is trying to find Anna, who is his lover. And it's really fun. Also, I didn't realize I was a guy until I played for like an hour. And I was like, oh, I'm a guy. I thought
assumed you were Anna?
No, I assumed that I was a girl going to find Anna, just based on the way that... So yeah. So you're a guy. But yeah, and it slowly introduces more and more supernatural elements to it. It is a very spooky game, so play it with the lights off and headphones.
Yeah.
That is the best way to play this game. I have not finished yet, but there are multiple endings. Okay. I like that idea. And I want to find out what the truth of Anna is. I have some theories, and I really like that. The story is good, but... Like I said, the inventory gets kind of bloated, and then you pick up a lot of things to read. Yeah. And you have a diary that you read from page 1 forward, and you look for clues there. But it also has diary going backward, and that's not how diaries work.
Nope, that's not.
So.
That's cool, though. So, a game that I would say, unless you're a hardcore racing guy, pass. If you're a hardcore racing guy or girl, go for Project Cars. Project Cars, I knew this going in was going to be kind of like the Forza, more accurate kind of...
more simulation
than kart racing. And I realized playing this and playing many of the other ones, I prefer the kart racing ones because I'm not very good at racing games. But I will say one thing in this, that while it is a simulation, I had so many times that I was having trouble handling the car or wrecking, and the only time where I got to the point where I couldn't complete the race was I flipped over my car. I was literally upside down, and I couldn't do anything. And no one came, and I let it sit for a while, and no one came and flipped my car over. So because I'm used to kart games where it's like bounces and all of a sudden I'm back, but I wasn't.
Or Lakitu picks you up.
Yes, so I had to restart the game, restart the mission in that case, restart the race. I would say that it's at least forgiving in the fashion that I didn't have to, every time I'd wreck, it wouldn't destroy the car where I'd have to have someone repair my car, because I wrecked a lot in this game, and by wreck I mean I couldn't turn as well as everyone else was turning because I was going too fast and I hit somebody. So it's not something that I'd keep playing because it's very professional race oriented, and I'm just not about that. Give me a kart racer, and I'm gonna love that. This is just too
technical,
way too technical. At least it's forgiving that in hitting all the cars, I didn't destroy my car, and I was still able to get 7th in the race. So 7th out of 20.
So your subtitle on this would be Project Cars: hit all the cars.
Hit all the cars. I hit all the cars, and I still got 7th.
There you go.
So I also went through like the pit area quite a few times because like the track turned around, and I'm like, I'm already going this way. I'm just gonna cut through, and It ended up working kind of. I know that's not gonna get you the best thing you want to do, but that's my take on it.
The last game we have on our list this month is Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Yes.
Which is one of the great video game Star Wars stories. One of the great video game stories ever.
It really is.
You get to play a bad guy, and it's awesome.
You get to be a bad guy. You get to play Starkiller, which is the original name for Luke.
From Lucas himself.
I love that these names kind of leak out in the mythos like that. But this is unfortunately now it's considered legacy, so it's not part of the canon.
No longer canon.
But you play Vader's apprentice, and you get to be the bad guy, and it's fun. It's a great game where you get to be a Jedi and do ridiculous, over-the-top stuff. It may be a little dated now, but for the time it was phenomenal in regards to ragdoll physics, in regards to the way you use force powers. It's great. I would put this on par with the best Jedi Knight games, like Jedi Knight 2. I put this on par with that because the storyline is so good. And I highly recommend it. In so many ways, if you haven't played this game, pick it up because it's free and you can play it, and there's no other reason not to play this game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So there you go. There are the free games that are worth your time this month on PlayStation Place. So those are the free games that are worth your time this month on PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold. Go out there, play them. Tell us in the comments which one you played and which ones you enjoyed.
Tell us which one you subscribe to as well. If you like one or the other, let us know.
Exactly. And we will see you next month.
Bye.